This is Björn Landberg. Welcome to Threefold Talk.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Threefold Talk. Sorry, I didn't mean to. No, I went to do that instead. Sorry, I was really confused because I had double sound playing in my ears for some reason. I was like, I'm looking at so many things trying to figure out what's going on wrong with StreamYard and such. Realized I've got the YouTube video playing on my other screen. I just didn't realize I had the sound on, so I'm real smart. Hello, everybody. Welcome to your consummated professional show, Expanding Threefold Talk.
Look at
How y'all doing?
Hey, everybody. So pro. I'm feeling so consummated and so professional and not at all constipated.
Excellente. Love this.
Good.
It's going to be a great time. It's going to be fabulous.
We're going to have so much fun tonight.
We are going to have a lot of fun tonight.
So much fun.
So much fun. So, how's everyone doing?
Oh, man. It's so nice out today.
Oh, good. I'm glad somebody had a lovely day.
I read in my hammock.
Oh my God, I hate
not
you.
that nice. It was like
I need a picture of you in your hammock.
It's like super humid and stuff, but like not too humid. But I wanted to read in my hammock, and so I did.
I feel like at some point we just need you to like live stream from the hammock, do a show from the hammock one day.
Next show.
You can just be there in the background, just like rocking side to side.
Hammocking. It's
hammock ASMR.
Yeah.
We can dress up your hammock like the Rossi, and then you can be in your little.
It can be my bunk.
It can be your crash couch.
It's your crash couch in the Rocky. Yeah.
What I'm trying to say. My God.
I like that.
I love it. I love it.
All right, chat. Something. StreamYard added something this week that we did not know about, but it's a poll option. We tried it pre-show before we were live, and it didn't appear in the pre-show chat. So we're hoping when I push go on this now, it will appear in live chat. We know it appears on the screen. So answer it if you can, if this appears for you. And if you don't see anything, then just put a message in the chat. I don't see that. So, first chance to join live. Welcome, Alex.
Welcome,
Appreciate
Alex.
you joining us live.
Yay! You're here. Welcome.
Welcome.
Now, yes, Skeety, you are right. You've got a question here. Don't we already have polls? Yes, they're a part of YouTube's studio setup. And unfortunately, what's with the ones? Did I say put one in chat?
It's people are trying to answer the poll. They're like typing the word one because
because they can see it.
They can see it on our screen.
I can't see it.
But I can't see the actual.
Oh, I can.
But it's not. I can't see it in chat either.
Oh, actually, so when you type the number, it's pulling in.
Oh, so you literally type one or two.
I just typed 2, and it went up to 3.
I wonder if can we spam 2 and you even if you spam, it doesn't keep adding it, so it actually works out one per person. Thank you for live testing that with us, everybody.
Anyway, hello, welcome to Threefold Talk. We are testing features live.
Yes,
and
47.
We're your co-hosts, and we do the expansing stuff today.
We do the expansing stuff today.
Before this is a first-time reader Expanse show. Do you guys know that? And today we're on chapters 21 and 22 of Leviathan Wakes.
Yeah, what's
With
your name?
an IEL twist, of course, because we're Wheel of Time.
Of course.
Fanatics. Yeah.
What's your name, Amis?
What's my name?
Yeah.
What's my name?
I was going to say something else, but my name is I'm a reader and a watcher because I have read the books once, and this is my first reread. And I have watched the show so many times, 5 or 6 times. So that is my role, along with complete chaos on this show today.
Yes.
We're kind of all a little bit chaos, so it's...
How about you, Rob? What's your name?
My name is Rob. I'm a first-time reader and a first-time watcher because I ain't seen shit.
Is that your Martian accent?
Yes, that
Yes,
was meant to
I
be my
guessed.
Texan Martian accent. Yes.
Amazing. Don't ever
I
do
tried
that
to do it
again.
as terribly
Okay,
as
Leigh-A,
possible.
your turn. What's your name?
Hi, I am the Expanse expert, Leigh-A. I have read the books multiple times. I've watched the show multiple times. I'm a huge science NASA nerd. Maybe not as big as Mel, but pretty. I'm up there, pretty high up there on the.
But you know a shit ton about ships.
I know a
Yes,
shit ton
you
about
do.
ships, and I have a STEM background, so a lot of this stuff is just very exciting and nerdy for me, as well as like all the military shit. So, yeah, I basically make faces and then go off on weird random tangents that have nothing to do directly with the books.
I make a lot of faces.
Good intro. Good intro. My name is Melindhra, and I have seen the Expanse show one time and never read the book, so I'm kind of a combo person. I'm trying to like disassociate sometimes what I vaguely remember from watching the show many years ago with what I'm reading in the books, and it works out for me sometimes. I think sometimes
It's good fun.
We'll see.
It's good fun.
I think you're doing really well. In fact, I wanted to tell you that as someone who has watched the show, even if it was a long time ago, I feel like you really have got into the books and don't bring in a lot of that. So it's really hard to do.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
job.
you. It is a fun line to walk, because sometimes I'm like, ooh, I remember this from the show. This is a big thing. And then I'm like, Rob, what do you think?
I always know when Mel remembers a moment because she like a question comes up and Mel goes, I don't know, Rob, what do you think first? You know, like, and I'm like, aha, okay, Mel knows.
Spin off of Rob. Yeah,
So,
I also live in the part of the Threefold Land where also they operate the astronaut training center. So I know some things about space stuff and have some intimate connections about space stuff, which I will be sharing some funny stories of today because it's relevant to real world things and Expanse things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And for anyone that's found us now and hasn't found us at our prologue episode or anything like that, we are also a podcast you can listen to. We did not start that. We've been doing this show for 5 years. Not all about the Expanse, but in the last however many episodes, 12 episodes or something now as the Expanse. But you can go to patreon.com/MalkieriTalks and for free connect your Spotify to the podcast listed in there. It's updated within a few days of the live YouTube one, and unless I forget. And then Charlie, thank you, love you. She gives me a digital kick up the ass, and I download it and upload it into the podcast settings.
Mickey and Charlie.
So, and Mickey and Charlie, and there is someone else who listens as well. I haven't pinned down who that is yet, but we love you all. So if you want to listen instead of watch, because that's more convenient for you, perhaps, you can do that as well. I think that covers everything.
And part of my weird faces today are going to be because of this.
I think what he's doing right now just kind of explains everything about who he is.
And that was Leigh-A pointing at her drugged up cone-infested
Derpy.
cat, Derpy Perrin.
Yeah, he got fixed yesterday because yay job having money to actually pay for these things.
Yay.
But he's also being an orange cat, and I also think a Perrin/Perrin, and I have not slept a lot in the past 24 hours. We'll just put it that way.
He's a bit of a butthole, shall we say. Anyway, let's talk. There's, a couple of bits of fun news and such, and Mel's got something to share with us, apparently. So we're going to hand it over to Michael and Kate now so they can introduce the Daily Veil.
Brothers and sisters,
it is time to cover up your face.
For the wheel of time has news, and we shall dance the spears with it.
This is the Daily Veil.
Oh, wait, that's me.
I was totally just like vamping right there with the music because
we're just dancing to music.
I was very focused on the cat. My bad. Hold on a second. I have this. I
you're
totally have
good.
this.
Honestly, this is the first time the news intro has ever ended, and the news isn't sat there waiting for us to talk about. Because Leigh-A is legit. She's got her shit down. Perrin's just got more shit in the go at the moment.
He is in
bless him,
charge.
so.
We just
Yeah,
talk
he's-
about shit all
Okay.
day.
Yes.
Okay. Whew. All right. I had it all up. I just didn't do the. Anyways.
You're good. You're slaying it, Leigh-A. Do not
I'm going to
worry.
let somebody else talk about this. We've got 2 things from JordanCon today.
Yes. I'll kick it off. The JordanCon 2026 schedule is live. As I was politely corrected about in the YouTube group when someone asked, "Hey, when's the schedule appearing?" and I was like, "I feel like it's like a week out that it appears." No, it appears earlier than that, as in it's up right now, and it's obviously not a week away. It's longer than that. So, but yes, you can go to the JordanCon website, JordanCon, I think .com, but just search JordanCon, you'll be able to find it. If that's not the correct website, I apologize. And the schedule is there.
.org. Jordan.
.org. Thank you. In fact, I can see it on the
literally on your
Blue
screen.
Sky poster. Yes, jordancon.org /2026 schedule / So, and you'll be able to see the schedule and pick out all of the fun things that you want to go and do while you're at JordanCon for those that are able to make it. So,
Yay!
And if you are making it and you're worried because you didn't get a membership, they have announced that there is on-site membership sales, which I feel like this is the first time I've seen that, but maybe I'm just not
It's been a long
remembering.
time since they've had that.
But that's pretty cool. So like,
yeah.
if you
Yeah,
guys
you can buy
decided to
some.
go and just do like, hang out with your friends in the lobby, you now could possibly go into the actual show and check out some stuff, panels, Brandon Sanderson, all that stuff.
Yeah. To answer Lightblind Fool's question in chat, JordanCon does not have a virtual ticket option, to my understanding.
No,
I think they tried it during COVID and decided it was not something that worked for them. I mean, they do have like 6 tracks or something crazy like that. So I totally understand. Like just running it for 1 or 2 tracks can be chaos. So 5 or 6, it's a wild amount of people and tech you need to run that. So
Imagine 6
yes.
or 7.
So yeah, six or 7 tracks. So
Wow.
I know.
I feel like there's people in our community who may have run at least 4 tracks that could probably help out if they reached out and asked. Just saying. Throwing it out there into the universe.
It's all right. Different cons for different fawns.
Swans.
Fans? I was curious where that was going to go. So
Fawns of the nope.
LBF, thank you so
Prawns.
much. They should be more like MalkieriCon. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Totally
WhatCon,
agree.
MalkieriCon and WhatCon, we both have virtual ticket options.
Hey,
So if you're
everybody
unable
has a
to join
different
us.
style. It's cool.
This is true. This is true.
That's true.
All right, what's up next on the news?
All right. Let me make sure I'm doing the right clip. I think this is the clip I want.
10,
Twas a rocket.
8, 7, RS-25 engines lit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff. The crew of Artemis 2 now bound to humanity's next great voyage begins.
That's pretty cool.
So cool.
That's a big ass plume of smoke.
Roger, roll pitch.
Roll pitch.
Houston now controlling the flight of Integrity on the Artemis 2 mission around the moon.
Integrity, AMT high.
On time passing 30 seconds into the flights. Integrity passes the
I
altitude.
saw a video earlier
Target
today of
milestone.
someone who
Mission
saw
Control Houston
it
saying good
from
performance.
their airplane
Engines,
window.
Space Launch System course
Oh,
taking
my,
Oh,
yes,
my.
I've seen a
3
couple.
miles
And they
in
saw the
altitude.
launch out their window
Traveling
at their
more than
airplane.
1,200 miles per hour.
Crazy.
10, 9,
All right, I think that's
Whoa.
repeating.
So for people who are not in the know, like myself, because I have not been paying attention, the purpose of this launch is to go to the moon and do what?
So
What's the
it's not
purpose?
actually to go to the moon. So Artemis is
Can't
launching
tell.
4 astronauts on NASA's most powerful rocket that they've ever built, the Space Launch System. And they are actually just going around the moon. So they are going on a 10-day trip that goes around the backside of the moon. And when they get on the far side of the moon, they will actually be furthest from Earth that any human has ever been. So they're doing a wider orbit than the Apollo missions that went on the far side of the moon in the 1970s. And so they're technically further away from Earth than any human will have ever been before. So it's a precursor to a bunch of things that are planned in to put it in Expanse terminology, in Luna, because there is a planned moon surface base coming up. There was a planned moon surface station that has been scrapped recently by the new NASA administrator, but the moon surface base is still in the works. So Space Launch System is kind of like a test flight for returning humans to the general vicinity of the moon, and in anticipation of us eventually actually putting a lunar base on the surface of the moon.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's a good way to kickstart getting people to Mars, in essence, isn't it? Because it's like if you can stop at the moon and refuel, because the moon's full of helium, you can mine the helium in that. You can then refuel your rockets to go to Mars. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, basically the idea is that it's a lot easier to launch like a long form voyage on a rocket that's already in space than to launch it from Earth. So yeah, I mean, this is a far off thing, but if we can build a station on Earth and then some sort of refueling system orbiting Earth or orbiting the moon, then people can, you can use it as a waypoint, basically, before you go further and further out.
And as I learned from a movie starring Matt Damon, it takes a long ass time to pick up a person if you get problems on their non-Earth based base.
All right.
So, it's a few days to go pick him up and sort shit out compared to
only a few
9
days.
months.
A few days.
Only a few days.
Only a
It's
few
like,
days.
if you're like, shit, you didn't leave food on your last trip, you're like, all right, can you hold up a week and we'll send you back? It's a little less stressful.
Nah, it's more like 6 months, 9 months, depending on the different, because Earth and Mars are not always right next to each other.
No, I mean like going back to the moon. I mean, going like if it's the moon.
Well, and even then, if there's which we learned recently, which Mel actually knows on the astronauts that got stuck, something happens in space, it's not like you can just go send a rescue ambulance.
That's true.
You can't just quickly send people to go to the rescue.
Well, to be fair, in that situation, they always had a way to come home. If they needed to come home, they had a way to get home. Because Starliner, while it was still docked at the station, was authorized as an emergency return vehicle. And then they returned Starliner after they launched the next SpaceX rocket with more seats to come them back. So they always had a way home. Like there was only a period of I think it was a week or something where there wasn't a vehicle at the space station that could return all of the astronauts at the station back to Earth in an emergency scenario.
Yeah.
So there's lots of minutia in the world of astronaut safety in space, but that's kind of one of the funny things we wanted to talk about, because Artemis's launch yesterday was awesome and it went really, really, really well, and we're really happy for them and all of the teams that worked on getting them off the ground. But there was a funny interaction about toilets.
Did I hear right? And I didn't know this. This is the first spaceship that's ever had an actual toilet on it, like a
It's
sit
the
down. Not
first-
that you can sit down in space, but
It's
like a
the first lunar mission that has a toilet. In the 60s and the 70s, they did not have a toilet on the rockets. The shuttles had toilets, but the shuttles didn't go to the moon. So this is the first lunar mission that had a toilet on it. And so it was kind of a big deal that a lunar mission with a toilet. And so then, you know, in the normal procedures of getting everything started once they entered orbit, they turned on the toilet and it was great. And everyone's like, the toilet's working. And then it stopped working like 10 minutes later, which is challenging because if you think about so the astronauts usually, they get into the rocket like 4 or 5 hours before it actually launches, and they're just wearing diapers basically at that point. You know, they're buckled into their seats. They just have to sit there and they run all the checks and all this stuff and so as soon as they're able to no longer be wearing diapers and to clean themselves up and stuff, they want to actually use a toilet. And so it is a very vital, mission critical part of the success of a mission. And it broke briefly. And they had to actually do some research to figure out how to make this toilet work. And I think that the thing is that they very quickly cleared the toilet for number 2, but not for number 1, because there was some sort of like urine absorption beads that broke loose in the launch process that got stuck in a fan the toilet, and so the fan could turn, and they weren't sure if they could turn the fan on and make it work. And the fan is important because you need suction in space to get your, you know, waste products not floating around randomly in the cabins of the spaceships, so there needs to be a vacuum system, and if the fan is blocked, problem. Anyway, so they fixed it, and it was great, but and good for them to for running the scenarios. And I just imagine in them Apollo 13 style, like putting beads into fans and being like, what happens if we just turn on the fans? Is it gonna break the fan, or are the beads gonna just pop out of the way? And can we test that out?
A breakout room, like, this is all the new shit we've got on the
But I mean, it's funny, but it is mission critical, right? Because there's only so many bags of things that you can pee and poop into before you run out of bags of things to pee and poop into, you know?
Yeah.
But all of this reminded me of a thing that happened actually with my work colleagues. We recently worked on a project where we interviewed one of the astronauts who was stranded up on the station for 9 months, and we asked her, we're like, what are the kinds of things that are really important to have replacement parts of that maybe you don't end up having enough of for whatever reason? And she said parts of the toilet were really important. And they actually wear out rather quickly, because you can imagine, you know, there's a lot of acid, you know, they eat certain foods, so like the plastics wear out and that sort of stuff. And when those parts break, the toilet doesn't function as well as you need it to, and all the suction-y things don't suction. So my colleagues actually, and I'm telling you this because it's very fun. We won an award for this recently, but we designed like a repurposable tube system, you know, to mimic the tube system that they use for the toilet parts. But it was based on, you know, Sonny's feedback about how the toilets are very, very important. And so I work for a company that makes 3D printers. And so we 3D printed out these recycled toilet parts, and they were like funnels and tube shapes. But the tubes were very small. Like the diameter of the tubes that they printed out, that my colleagues printed out, were quite small. And I was like, guys,
let's think about this.
Did we double check the measurements of the diameter of the tube for the usage of the tube when we decided to 3D print these out? And the guys were like, oh, you know, we were just kind of like making an educated guess. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I guess it was a bunch of engineering dudes. And I was like, educated guess based on what? And actually, maybe don't tell me. Don't tell me what your educated guess about the diameter of your tube holes. But
maybe re-educate that guess. You know?
Yes, like I think. And then I realized I was like, I think I know what you did. I think you used the outer diameber
as opposed to the inner diameter.
As opposed to the inner diameter. And so they didn't account for the thickness of the tube that they were making, and I was just like, this makes sense why it looks so wrong and very small and difficult to actually utilize. And they were like, yep, you're right. That's a thing that we did. We used the wrong diameter to make the holes. So they made the whole thing the size of the hole as opposed to accounting for the outer. Well, anyway, I of course made them tell Sunny that they made the tubes too small, and she's like, "That's fine. It doesn't really have an impact on me, but the guys are gonna have a problem with this." Fine. Anyway, so the things about measurements is a thing. I just had to tell this story because it is going to be relevant later, but I'm holding those comments for later when we discuss the books. But yes, anyway, toilet parts are very important and mission critical parts of space systems. Even if funny toilet humor makes you laugh, it's still, you really want to make sure that your astronauts do not just end up covered in poop and pee for their entire trip, which is what they did. Like literally, that's what they did in the Apollo missions. They just wore diapers. Crazy. There's a crazy story about Sally Ride when she went up, and how she was going up for what, like, I mean, her first trip was like 7 days or something like that. It was like a very short trip, and they're like, "How many tampons should we send with you?"
And they get sent they thought like 100 or something, wasn't it?
100 is 100.
I don't know, but it was like it was triple figures, wasn't it?
It was like an insane amount of tampons, just because, you know, and but like props to them because they were trying to be respectful of the first female astronaut.
More is better than fewer, right?
Right, yeah, but yeah, she was just like, nah, hundreds a fair amount, guys. It's cool. It's cool.
I may not. That might not be the correct figure. I know it's triple digits, but like I can't guarantee it was. You know, bros, come on.
Yeah. But you know, it's good to be prepared. They don't take up that much room with tampons.
Yeah, it is better to have too many than too few of those things. That's for sure. Same with toilet parts. Better to have too many toilet parts.
Extra
than
toilet parts. Anyway,
so
right yes.
Diameter.
So the
of the right diameter, correct.
The thing my team recently won an award for was designing a way to manufacture extra toilet parts out of recycled plastic.
When they're on the ship, you mean?
In space, yeah.
Yeah, in space.
Yeah,
that's the
cool.
idea. Yeah.
That's cool.
But yes.
I love them.
That actually sounds like
once
it will come
they
in
wait
very
the
handy.
right size tube parts.
Yeah. Look, guys getting things the wrong size. It's, you know, apparently it's in the DNA. So
Size matters, okay, man? For all things. Let's just say, especially tubes for the toilet.
It's true.
This is true.
Anyway, sorry, that was news. That was news to
Yeah.
share. But
That
congrats
was-
to Artemis crew.
Yes.
Hope you get back safely. We'll probably learn more. They're almost home next week.
Yeah.
10 days, so I just whip
Yeah,
them
they
around.
They're
at
just
some point
going
on
around.
Tuesday, I believe, is when they should be going around the moon.
I want to whip around the moon.
Yeah.
Whip it.
I was just gonna say that.
I feel like I'm gonna go a little poll crazy today. Would you
Full
like
crazy.
to whip it around the moon?
When you said it, it sounded like a different question.
There's the poll, chat.
Yeah,
Type
just
1 or
for-
2.
Yeah, just a reminder. Yeah, thank you.
Amazing.
Oh my god. Oh my god. We
Amazing.
haven't even we haven't got past the TV yet.
All right,
No.
let's go.
Let's get into it. We are talking about the Expanse. That's what we're meant to be here for. That's what we're going to do. So let's take it away and get into discussions of chapters 21 and 22.
Let's do it.
It's so good, isn't it?
It looks so good.
For anyone who has no idea why we're squealing so much now, last week Spuds gave us a beautiful logo intro, and I managed to get a still of it, and I tweaked it, and it now leans in. It zooms in as our intro used to do around Earth and the Moon. Now it zooms into the logo instead. So it's not as it's in the top corner, right there. You should see where I'm pointing. It's not quite as flawless as I would like it, but I'm pretty damn happy with it, and it sits over that beautiful music that Heather put together with Avi's finishing. So. Yeah, I hoped you were going to be in chat, Spud, so you could see that and enjoy it, because we really like it. So, thank you so much. Aw. Love that. All right.
Spuds.
Does anyone want to do a recap?
Oh shoot! Who's going to do the recap?
I did it last week.
I haven't done it in a while. I'll do it.
Do it.
All right, take it away, Mel.
Okay, so chapter 21, Holden. They are still on Tycho Station, hanging out, enjoying the fruits of Palpatine Johnson's labor. And they're eating sushi, they're visiting brothels, they're hurting their prostates, apparently. And like we discussed last week, Holden can't handle people being happy, so he yells at the crew and bullies them into agreeing to become pirates, basically. And they're all like, okay. And then Naomi, for some reason, says nice things to Holden, so that's weird. And then Holden goes and visits. Holden goes and visits Fred Johnson because he wants to tell him that they want to leave. Like, they basically want to leave Tycho Station because Holden's bullied the crew into leaving, even though they've had a very traumatic few weeks and they deserve some rest. But apparently Holden can't handle not being a top dog. Anyway, so then he goes and visits Fred Johnson, and Fred Johnson surprises him by asking him if they can borrow his ship, and he's like, but why? And Holden's really suspicious because their ship is the only ship with guns on it. And but Fred Johnson's like, okay, I actually need to go pick up a person who is not a real person who owns the Scapulus. And Holden's like, okay, now you have my attention. What? And also send my crew to do it. Hire us and make us be your contractors, and we will go and we will rescue this person who's not a real person, who is connected to the Scapulus, and we want to do this and take this contract from you. And Fred's like, no, you're too important to me. And Holden's like, we cannot just sit here and do nothing. We'll, record our video depositions that you need us from us, but we need to be useful and put us to work. And also, here's my awesome 8-year-old version design for how to mod a Martian warship to look like a gas hauler, and it'll be super awesome, and everyone will totally believe it. So just do this. And Fred's like, okay. And that's it. So yeah, okay. So then
Scapuli.
Yeah. And then so they agree. So Fred agrees to mod the Rocinante to make it look like shit, and the crew of should I do recaps more? The crew also agrees to go to Eros. So then, which we knew that they were going on from last week because we heard that from Miller. So now we hook up with Miller, who has arrived in Eros or has taken a puddle jumper to Eros and hangs out in a really like the Greyhound bus version of transports to Eros. But it's fancier than Greyhound bus because it doesn't seem to have tiny toilets with 2 small sphincter holes, but it has bunks. So it has bunks, and it apparently also has religious people that makes you ponder your life. And so Miller had a conversation with a religious figure that made him think about his life choices. And then he arrived in Eros, and he ran into an old colleague from his copper days, one of the few people that had cross-station collaborated with him on a really skeevy project from way back in the day. And basically Miller admitted to, what's his name? Sematimba. He admitted to Sematimba.
I just called him Semi because it was much easier. So
Sematimba that he was there on personal business, not really work business, because he had lost his contract. And Sematimba was like, "Are you here looking for work?" And he's like, "No, I'm doing my own thing, and it could be a really big deal." And Sematimba's like, "How big of a deal?" And Miller's like, "Oh, like the war bag." And Sematimba's like, "Dude, don't make problems on my station. Don't come on my station and start busting shit up." And Miller's like, nah, man, I'll keep a low profile. Of course he won't. But, that's what he said to Sematimba. And then Sematimba wandered off. And Miller wandered off through Las Vegas to wait for the crew of the Rocinante to arrive in Eros. And that's where the chapter ends.
And how did you describe your feelings at that exact moment, Mel?
Oh, yeah. I messaged because I read this earlier today. I messaged everybody and I was like, oh my God, I never wanted to keep reading more in my entire life because we're going to get Molden. Molden is happening.
Molden is coming next week, baby. Come on.
Imminent
Molden is imminent.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah.
I actually said in my notes, we'll get to it later, but I did say in my notes, I was like, probably they'll lead up to this and it won't happen or something like that, so, but
Wouldn't that be nice if we just ended this book with them creating pottery together?
It would
that
be
would
lovely.
be beautiful.
It would be lovely.
Beautiful.
Are you guys gonna validate our belief that Molden is a love
I'm not
triangle?
validating anything.
Frenemies
You
to
just have to read and find out.
clay sculptors. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk Holden.
Let's
Yes.
talk Holden.
Yes. Rob, you go first.
No,
Please.
you're welcome to go first.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, because you're gonna be annoyed. But I'm doing it.
Let's
Okay.
get
What
the
you
annoyance done.
How am I going to be annoyed?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let me just read the first line of this.
Okay.
Ships were small. Space was always at a premium, and even on a monster like the Donager, the corridors and compartments were cramped and uncomfortable. On the Rocinante, the only rooms where Holden could spread out his arms without touching 2 walls were the galley and the cargo bay.
We actually have a diagram of that.
Let's keep that clear.
Oh, we do?
This is how big the galley is.
Coffee.
Or the coffee. So
It is
yes.
that Starbucks right there.
Yeah.
Love it.
So I probably could have done this a bit later, but it
PSG
just
Starbucks.
yes. For those listening rather than watching, it's
Okay.
a scene where Holden stood in the middle of a very wide room. I'm assuming that's Naomi making coffee behind the bar.
No, that's
that's
Starbucks
Starbucks.
from Battlestar Galactica.
That's Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, okay, right. Hence the Starbucks thing in the back.
Yes,
Okay, cool.
And you know what? I bet if we counted, that's 40 cups of coffee. And is that fucking Placentamon and the Spud Monkey?
Yes,
drinking
it's
coffee?
Placentamon and the Spud Monkey are having coffee together. Yes.
They are.
Spud-
Listen,
oh.
they are doing a good job making sure that the coffee does not go to waste. All of the coffee that
Exactly.
Holden made. Okay, so pull that down.
Yes. Sorry, boss.
I appreciate that picture so much, Buds, and you would be correct in assuming that that's about the size that the galley should be. However, you are wrong. The galley cannot be that size. And the reason the galley cannot be that size is because you remember, I just read, Rocinante, only rooms where Holden could spread out his arms without touching the two walls for the galley and the cargo bay. So Holden's arms cannot reach the walls of the galley and the cargo bay. Remember that information. Okay, now 2 pages later, Fred Johnson's office was like its occupant, big, intimidating, and overflowing with things that need to be done. The room was easily 2.5 square meters, making it larger than any single compartment on the Rocinante. So no compartment on the Rocinante is larger than 2.5 square meters.
Not very big.
Okay, 2.5 square meters.
Charge!
Mel has charts.
This is 4 square meters. This is a picture of 4 square meters. 4 people, normal size humans, in a 4 square meter space. A 2.5 square meter space is basically a third the size of this. Or, well, you know, basically 2 humans worth of size. So I spent the entire time reading this chapter being like, okay. So Fred Johnson is big, and his office is big, and it is so big it is 2.5 square meters, which is basically like a 5 foot by 5 foot room, or like the size of a small bathroom, or like
2.5 meters
square
is...
meters. 2.5 square meters. It is. They
That
did
just
not.
means-
No, they did not say that. They said 2.5 square meters. 2.5 square meters is 5 feet by 5 feet. That is what 2.5 square meters is. So we could accept that the writers phrased it incorrectly, but I chose as a concept to take them at their literal word. And that, of course, changed my entire mental picture of the size of everything that we have read in this whole book. So Holden does not have a wingspan more than 5 feet.
This is what it comes down to.
Holden is the size of a 10-year-old because he cannot touch a 5 foot by 5 foot wall. And belters are enormous to Holden. And he has said that belters are 2 meters tall. So you imagine belters in a 5 foot by 5 foot room trying to take up space. And Fred Johnson is big. So is he as big as a belter? I don't know. But apparently this giant office is larger than any room on the Rocinante, including the galley with its 40 cups of coffee. So Holden actually is about, I'm going to say, approximately 3 feet tall.
I think you should take this rant and we should send it to the authors and have them clarify.
He's minuscule, and now I know this explains so much of Holden because he's just suffering from short man syndrome the whole time. He's like Greg Bovino, only in space. He cannot conceive of think how much taller Naomi is than him.
She's gigantic.
It's crazy. It's crazy. He comes up to her like hips, maybe her hips.
Her hips don't lie, Mel. It's just the way it is.
So he's just been staring at people's dicks when talking to them this whole time, and we had no idea.
Well, there were the
Holden
times that they were in zero Gs,
is
so maybe they
minuscule.
kind of evened out a little bit.
True fact.
You say
He could
everyone's the
just
same.
blow it up.
Everyone's the
Also,
same size
the
as zero G.
Rocinante
Is that what you're
is a
saying?
Like every room on the Rocinante is tiny. Every room on the Rocinante, like no wonder that they get off the ship and immediately go to the brothels and brothelize until they don't have any more juice in their insides, because every room is the size of a closet, including their like cargo bay, which
Yeah.
means no one who's like the poor belters, they can't actually lay down to sleep. There's no possible way. They are 2 meters, and a 2.5 square meter room they cannot stretch out in. So
Or
Yeah,
this is
they
just
they
very
clearly
confusing.
they must have been
This
trying
is
to.
dumb. Like
Yeah.
that they just made a math error in their calculations.
Well, I
Yes.
think they must have
No,
tried
and
to
I
say that they were.
I chose to accept
Yeah.
that, but probably they made a math error,
Thanks,
and they were
but-
meant a room that is 2.5 meters by 2.5 meters, which is not 2.5 square meters. But I was just like so distracted by the 2.5 square meter thing, and I was just like, let's just run this down. Like, what happens if everything is 2.5 square? Like, if this is
And they have the big
this is
rooms.
the core measurement that to which all the other measurements that we've learned about this entire time relates, and it just blew my mind up. Anyway, I told you you'd be annoyed.
Why am I annoyed about that? That's hilarious.
But every drawing Spuds has to do from now on, Holden must.
Yeah, I
be
want
a
to see Holden like
reasonable.
squidged, you know.
That's
No,
it.
he's actually
Oh, no,
just
he's-
very
he's fine,
small.
yes.
He's
Yeah.
just
So that
just
next
so
week we want a
tall.
drawing of
He
Holden.
does not have
the height
a
of everybody
5
else.
foot
But
wingspan.
Spuds did make a comment saying he was using camera trickery in his.
okay.
Right,
Yeah.
that's fair.
And
Yes,
also,
that's
how
fair.
tiny were those coffee cups? If we're actually like, it just blows everything.
I mean,
it just blows everything I had
right,
pictured
there's coffee cups.
about the Rossi and like how much. I mean, I know that like offices and rooms on ships are small. Like I know that that's a thing. I've been on like battleships and I've seen the like tiny offices and how, and I kind of like love that, like the creativity and the way that they make tiny offices and tiny compartments work. But yeah, like this was extreme. This was extreme for me. This was extreme.
I love it. Mel dropping the science this week. It's
I
beautiful.
love that you spent
So-
all that time doing the math on this.
I couldn't get past it. Like I read 2.5 square meters and I was like, am I wrong? I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong.
No.
And I literally Googled it and I did the conversions and I was like, yeah, I'm right. That's like a 5 foot by 5 foot.
Yeah,
That's
they want a room that's 2.5 meters
so
long
small.
because that's like 8 foot something, you know. And that makes a lot more sense, you know.
Yes.
I just breezed right
But
by
it's like,
them.
but like Holden's and whenever for the rest of the series, whenever Holden describes anything as big, I will know that it's because he is 3 feet tall.
Now do you have more empathy for Holden then? Because he's
He's got short man syndrome.
He's got short man syndrome, which
There
actually
we go.
makes me hate him more because he puts his entire net worth on how large his bones are.
Is he Napoleon instead now? You know,
Napoleon actually historically was not actually that short.
he was not actually that short. That's quite true. People just say he is. So that's great.
Holden is shorter though. Clearly shorter.
I love this. This is brilliant. This has made me. I have nothing to add to the chapter. That was perfect. So,
Anyway.
I for once don't feel sorry for Amos. that man fucked his way through a brothel until he had dust
For
left in
3
his mouth.
days.
Yes.
3 days. days.
I'm kind of impressed, and also like really glad that I'm not a sex worker like with Amos, because I would have been bored like really early on.
Maybe he just kept changing it up, be like, I still got energy, but you all need to take breaks, like legally
I guess
mandated
that's
breaks
true.
and things. So
If
maybe-
we're allowed
maybe-
to tap
maybe those.
out of Amos's 3-day binge, yeah, that's okay. I could handle that.
But yeah, I was like, dude, don't feel sorry for you at all. I have a big question for this chapter, which I feel is half answered in the next chapter, but still I don't get, and I'm confused about the sushi. We got fake seaweed,
But real
but
fish.
but it's real fucking fish.
Yeah.
They did though. They didn't say it was real. That's one of my questions. Is the salmon real?
Why
mean,
make the effort to point
why
out
would-
it's fake seaweed and not say,
They keep
it's
talking
salmon
about
wrapped in fake.
that. They talk about vat grown meat very frequently, so I don't know if that would possibly be an assumption going in.
But isn't there, like, we'll get to it, but isn't there a fish tank in the belly button Vegas
Yeah, I
place?
just thought that you could have fish, cloned fish in water, but they don't have a lot of water, so why would they waste space with water for fish?
Exactly. So
I
yeah,
think it's
Maybe
real.
they figure out some way to like make salmon farms, because fish breathe water, but it's really they breathe. Oh my goodness! Excuse me.
that one stayed in the sound edit there, folks.
All that vat grown meat she's been eating. And
Yeah.
Maybe they figured
That
out how to, like,
Fungus is like, don't you say the wrong thing now, Mel.
like infuse their gills with, the off gassing from the humans. It's something I don't know. I don't know how to make it
Well,
work.
and so Rapunzel brings up a good point, and we have there's been some small mentions of what goes on in Ganymede. So Ganymede really is kind of the farm of the belt, and we won't go much further because that's kind of only been casually mentioned. So it is possible that on a place like Ganymede, that is the farm of the belt, that wow, we're winning here. But anyways, so moving on.
Okay. Well, apparently we
Not
have real
moving
sushi.
on, not moving on, but yes.
No.
sushi.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Apparently we have real sushi. I maybe felt a little bit mean sorry for Amos at the sushi moment when he's like on a hangover, but not really. But yeah, like you said in the rundown, like Holden's a party pooper. Like they have traveled on the cramped, poorly medicated night. Then they got captured by Martians in essence, and then heroically thrown onto the Rocky. So I've decided I'm going to call it the Rocky, by the way.
The Rossi.
The Rocky.
Rossi.
Would you prefer I call it shall I call it the Ristorante?
Yeah,
I could go back to the Ristorante.
I like it.
Ristorante. Okay, so then they got the Ristorante, and they turn up, and they've been on the run for weeks and weeks and weeks, basically. All right, chased from pillar to post, from bomb to bullet, and they finally got time to relax and enjoy, and they're not even having to pay for it. Okay, it's on Palpy's dime. It's been 3 days. I mean, that ain't enough to recover from a hard work week. The 2-day weekend that we all have to go through is bullshit. Like, they've been through that. You need more than 3 days. And he's here like, fucking get on the ship. Let's go do some stuff. I was like, you haven't even... ignore the fact that Amos has been screwing his way through the entire brothel. Or that Naomi has drunk the bar dry and sung every song twice in the karaoke songbook. Or that Alex has, basically just sharked his way through every dart player on the station. You haven't had time to rest. There's no recuperation there whatsoever.
3 days.
Yeah.
And Holden just like can't handle it. He can't.
He's
handle
like,
it.
I got itchy feet, so I need to move. Like, well, boo-hoo, buddy. Go find a treadmill. Like.
Also, like, don't you think it's weird that we were? And I don't know if this is in the author's like maybe changing their idea of who Holden is, or maybe it's just his own changes in the story. You tell me. But like when we first meet Holden, we are told he is a guy who sits on an ice hauler for 5 fucking years. 5 years.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden he's like, I can't wait 3 days. Like it
Yeah.
seems like a really weird character shift. Like I get it, like this horrible shit's happened, but like at the same time, I'm like, dude, just chill the fuck out. Like,
Yeah.
it's been
he, in his defense, his friends all
What?
got murdered,
Excuse me?
right?
What did
And-
you say? Is what?
In his
Melindhra is defending Holden, ladies and gents.
Okay. I just want to make
I'm
sure.
just-
We will mark this point in time.
Clip that.
I mean, he is right. Like he's got vengeance on the mind, right? And he's feeling survivor's guilt, right? So he's feeling like, how dare he be able to relax and eat delicious fake sushi and drink infinite cups of coffee when his friends got blown to smithereens and he hasn't done anything to avenge them, right? Like he's definitely in need of therapy for his short man syndrome and his survivor's guilt. Like both of those things are weighing heavily on him at this point because let's be clear, everyone is bigger than him. Everyone.
This is true. He's 3 feet tall.
He
This is true. For me, it was like, why did you run to the Tai Chi when what you really want to do is start just going back and forth, taking jobs until
in
you
a
hear
spiral.
something?
Alex had the right
In,
idea. Just
yeah, Alex
start
is like
going
in a
a
spiral. Yeah, you know, ignoring the fact that space is 360. You know,
I mean,
it's all. It's all
and a
cheeky.
gyroscope, I guess.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go.
I don't know.
You know, it's like, oh yeah, we'll go to this. We'll go to the ship with this guy who can give us all these fancy codes and things and blah blah blah. And suddenly he's like, nah, this is no good. Actually, we need to be on our own. I'm like, you've yeah. Last week he turned up and he's like, I don't trust nobody. And then he's just like, actually, this is good. This is fine. I believe your selfish reasons. And now he's like, a couple of days later, nah, this is no good. We got to fucking bounce again. I'm like, dude's got whiplash. And it's a lot.
And do you even think that him doing this, like, or them doing this, like leaving, whether it's working for Fred Johnston or whoever, like, is going to cure this anxiety of his, or cure his, like, whatever he's dealing with? Like, I don't know if working is necessarily going to be the solution either. What do you think?
I don't think any of these things are going to fix it for him.
No.
I think he's just looking for something. He's trying desperately to find something that will alleviate what he's feeling. And he doesn't care that his crew is handling it in a much healthier way. Everybody needs to conform to Holden's view of what the right way to deal with trauma is. Which then...
But Naomi's going to say, dude, you're handling your shit well.
And then Naomi...
What?
What is Naomi doing? Okay.
Is she high?
Did she get spiked?
She's either high, or she's trying to play him, or there was a sub that day in D&D, and some other person subbed in.
That's quite possible.
And the DM played Naomi, and the DM really wants to retcon Naomi and Holden like getting together, and so
wait,
the DM like forced that on the player when the player was out, because I'm sure the player had to like not be at the D&D session because
they were on the space toilet and there was a suction problem.
Yeah, or they were dealing with a
so the
legitimate
Holden
crisis
player
at
took her
home.
turn.
They had to travel to go and solve some issue in their real job, and they're the only person who could do it, and so they were not able to like go to karaoke / D&D for their one night a week where they got to do something fun, and the DM like fucked them.
I thought she was a little out of character.
It definitely
Yeah.
felt out of
I mean,
character.
she
Yeah.
does, like,
I
what was
think-
it, a chapter or two ago, she does kind of, like, give him some props, you know, like a little bit. But this was,
a
like,
little bit, but I
like,
think those were
way over
those
the top.
made sense.
Yeah.
This made no sense. This
Like
made
he's
no
not like
sense.
it's not like blanket every decision he's made has been like the worst possible choice.
True.
You know, he's had a couple moments here
He's
there like okay,
learning and
he's-
growing
yeah,
into
exactly.
his role for sure.
But she's reacted like, you are the one that saved us. Thank God you were there. I'm the one that nearly killed us all. And it's like, when was she losing
Yeah.
her shit? Like, she had it.
Yeah. And
In
he
fact,
even says,
credit to yeah, he said like, you wouldn't be out. I couldn't
no
tell.
one
You
would
hide
know.
it well. Exactly. You know.
And it's just like, is she still drunk from the night before?
It's
Like,
possible.
what
It's
is
possible.
happening here? So
I mean,
like, if
she did just bring in sushi, so she probably had a little sake.
If I remove myself from the fourth wall and think about the potential realities for like the motivation of actual Naomi, not the D&D character, like she could be trying to hype him up, right? She could be being a good XO, trying to give him some confidence, so that she could stop having to deal with guy with short man syndrome for like 5 fucking minutes and just get to eat her beautiful, delicious salmon in peace. Like, that could be a calculated choice that Naomi is making. Or there are off-screen things happening that we are not seeing, and there is some sort of relationship thing simmering between them.
Well,
that we're getting like
We've seen it from Holden's side.
Glimpses of love, you know, like, oh, I suddenly love you a million times.
I mean, are they maybe work colleagues / friends that when they get drunk they hook up with each other, but they regret it the next morning?
No. I'm just saying, like, I don't think anything has actually happened between them, but I think there could be. I think there, you know, because of the looks and stuff, like there could be, she could have like potential, like I might be falling in love with these guys, I'm only gonna see the best in him blinders on, right? Like, because when you're in love with someone, none of their flaws are apparent to you.
Rose-colored glasses, yeah.
Like, you know, you're just, especially in those first throes of like infatuation with a person, right? So it could be we're seeing glimpses of that. I don't know, but it was very odd.
Because maybe she's like, look, this dude is stressed out. Like, we're all having a great time, and he's in the Rossi sleeping in the chair. Like, what the absolute fuck?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
She's like massaging his childish ego. I don't know.
That could also be a thing that she's doing.
It's okay, Bubba, you're really 5 foot tall. It's okay.
Yeah, it's like you're like 3'2.5". Good job. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, like
those booster shoes did a good job for you.
You're not
today.
like 2'11". You're like 3'2". It's fine.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I think any of that is possible, and it remains to be seen how that will play out.
I agree.
I'm not quite sure how to read it.
Do you feel like
Fred Johnson's office? Sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna
ask your question.
that's exactly what I was gonna say. So like the Rossi crew has a talk and they're like, yeah, let's just get some jobs and go to work. And then all of a sudden this weird conversation with her, Naomi's lifting up Holden, and all of a sudden he's marching into Fred Johnson's office.
Well, he gets called into Fred Johnson's office.
Well, yeah, but he gets called in there and he tries to make a deal. One, do we really think Holden's a good deal maker?
Let's be clear. There are at least 2 chairs and a desk and space to pace. Pace in an
They're
office
very
with
tiny chairs.
2 chairs and at least a desk
And a fake window.
and a fake
big-ass
window
fake window.
screen.
I feel like that's the wall, though. So.
No, but it's like a big window. Yeah.
It's big.
A
It's
100-year-old wooden desk.
Real
All
wood.
in how
And Holden
big
would know.
All in a 5 foot by 5 foot space.
Okay, so the question is though, like, did he negotiate very well? Just like, he basically.
I actually have a small point that this
do it.
relates
Tell
to.
me.
So in
Tell
my
me.
notes, I wrote down, I think he is going to, I think that last line from Palpy, where it's like, I reserve the right to outbid or have the chance to outbid any job you take or get offered, in essence. I think that is going to come down to a moment where he will either pretend to accept and then not accept the job and go do what he really wants to do, or be forced to just run away. Like that'll be a breaking point between the two. Like I think he's going to regret that line, agreeing to say you can counterbid, because Fred's clearly got more money than Placentamon at this stage, so he can. Sorry, Leigh-A, I had to do it. So he can just like outbid whatever it is and be like, no, you can't do the job. Here's more money just for you to hit anything. And I just think he's gonna throw his toys out the pram and be like, but I want to do the job. They'll give me taller shoes if I do the job. And he's like, I'll buy you all the shoes you want. He's like, but I want those shoes. And then he's gonna go. Or he's gonna be like, okay, I take your shoes, and then run off to the Rocky, and then to the Ristorante, and then just zip out there anyway, because he got the guns, and none of the other ships, they got guns, And I think he's going to be like, look at me.
On my first, I don't know if you guys have ever been to a market where they haggle a lot.
I have, yes.
You don't give up your prized possession in the first... Oh, I'll give you the Martian encryption key. Like, what the hell? Why would that be your very first thing you negotiate with? Like, he is such a moron. What are you doing? Like, you're one, and he's a moron because he's not just representing himself. If he wants to go do that for Fred Johnson, fine. But he's supposed to be the captain of this crew and representing these people who all they just said was, I just want to work. And now you're like, tying this entire crew into this relationship that they not have any choice of because nobody talked about it. He just fucking agrees with them. And then it's like, here's my plus power. Take it.
Yeah. I have to say, there was something that Holden said that actually swayed me toward the Palpatine Johnson. I wasn't fully on Team Palpatine Johnson. I was more like, I feel like he's on the level. But Holden...
Welcome to the dark side.
Whoa, that was really good. Holden says he thinks Fred Johnson's on the level. And so now I doubt my belief that I think Fred Johnson's on the level. Because how can I agree with what Holden says? I'm a little bit like, wait.
I wish I could do the Palpatine laugh right now.
He said the same thing I've been saying about Fred Johnson, that he thinks he's a straight talker and he's not like steering them wrong and that sort of stuff. And I was like, wait, maybe I'm wrong.
Congratulations.
I have every reason to believe you are what you say you are. You talk a good game, all that stuff. And I was like, oh no, maybe I'm wrong if I'm agreeing with Holden.
There we go. Also, Leigh, I feel like you had something to add, didn't you?
Yeah. Wait, so no, I was clarifying. You're agreeing with Johnson teen about Holden, or you're agreeing with Holden about... I'm confused which one you're agreeing about.
Agreeing with your previous thoughts about Fred Johnson.
I'm concerned that my previous opinion of Fred Johnson is incorrect because Holden agrees with my previous opinion about Fred Johnson, being that he's an on-the-level straight shooter kind of guy.
Okay.
Holden thinks that. So now I am not fully, but I am leaning towards Palpatine Johnson theory.
Okay.
Because
Rob's theory.
I will annotate this just as not as a theory, but as a milestone marker.
It's a mild shift in opinion. I am
for those listening, Rob is preening a little bit right now.
I guess that's what I'm saying.
Rob's here, doing the shoulder brush,
Do you think the crew's going to be happy with this decision Holden made? Like, we know that they're in Eros because we knew that last chapter with Miller, but Like, do you think they're gonna be happy with this decision that they had like
I
no
mean, they
choice?
asked for a week, and he like went into his office immediately and was like, "We gotta
Took a
we
job
gotta
for the
go
next
in
day.
an hour."
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah,
they
for the
tied
same
him
day.
to
Yeah.
Fred. Like they all just wanted to be pirates, and they tied him.
Oh.
Yeah.
They
Oh.
tied him to a boss. You know
Now,
what I mean?
what if Holden's gone alone? Because he promised him that
Yeah, we
week.
don't
I didn't
know.
consider maybe he
No,
he's
can't
that much
go
of an idiot.
alone. He can't
Yeah,
go
but he's
alone.
that much of an idiot, isn't he?
I don't
Maybe
think
he
he can
hired
pilot
another
the
crew.
ship. No. I think they'll be pissed, but they'll go with him.
Okay. I mean, in my head, I just assumed they went, but you're right. He had promised them a week, marched into, went to Palpy's office, and then took a deal for leaving in an hour.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a quite. That's not even like you can have 3 days and actually you get one.
I mean,
That's an hour and a week is a
we don't
huge difference.
technically know how much time has passed between that conversation with the crew and the meeting with Fred. Like, that's not a thing that we have a conception of. So there could have time passed, but like, yeah, he was just basically.
Doesn't feel like it was a week. Yeah.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Well, and he said that we could be gone within an hour, but I also don't feel like once he starts making those recommendations about adjustments
Changing the ship
for
design
the
and stuff.
ship,
Yeah.
that's
such a
as
short man
much
thing to say.
as much as yes.
That'll take
Well,
up his
yeah,
time.
I do think that was an over
Like the bravado.
ego. Yeah, like, oh gosh, we could like leave right now. Like,
Yeah.
call everybody up. We're heading arrows. But yeah.
Yeah. Just trying to see.
Okay, so we have now learned, though, like on the intrigue part of things, like we've learned that Lionel Polanski is Fred's alter ego for business purposes, and like he owns the Scopuli, but probably also other things too, right? Like,
Oh my god, you said it correctly.
Is that how? So it didn't come across to me like that. So the way it came across to me was that Polanski was. Also, I don't trust anything named Polanski, really. I mean, I kind of do these
Dr.
days,
Polanski?
but Dr. Polanski kind of, shittest doctor in Star Trek, bless her, but she had like a real uphill struggle when she came in, bless her, the actress. The character's just shit. Anyway, Star Trek reference. If you don't know Next Generation, people go watch it after this. But there's a Polanski in the current political environment that I do like. So like my things are changing. Anyway, the way it came across to me was Polanski in this was just like, the guy on paper. So Palpatine could do his dirty dealings. And then someone knows that and has pretended to actually be Polanski to get an untoward. Yeah. So I don't think Polanski's actually like his specific alter ego on paper. I think he's just a tool on paper he has to do dealings. I don't think it's like, this is my alter ego. This is like, I think it's more like his organization's on paper.
Like an OPA alter ego. Is that what
like a generic one that they use on paper. Yeah, at least that's how it came across to me. I could be absolutely wrong. I could be right. It could be Fred's particular one. I think we're all in agreement. It's not actually meant to be a person. It is just meant to be something.
Right.
I think.
So I guess the question is when he's asking Holden, like, "Hey, there's this person I need to retrieve."
Yeah.
Do we feel like Holden's like, "Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go retrieve a person for you, Fred"?
Sure, Fred.
Or is this just a way for Fred?
You like kidnapping people in this book.
To manipulate Holden to go do something he wants, and it's completely not at all what he's saying. Like, what is Fred actually asking Holden and crew to do? Is he asking? He said he needs to retrieve a person, but if this person doesn't really exist and it's just on paper, like, what the hell? Is he like trapping them somehow in some way?
I do believe Fred when Fred is saying that clearly somebody knows their way of operating so well that they're sending him a signal, but they're in danger and they need extraction. Like, I do believe that. I am a little suspicious of knowing that Fred would be totally cool with just sending an untested crew of people that he's only known for like 3 fucking days out to go rescue this person who Fred clearly thinks is critically important to OPA and his mission. It is suspicious
that's not wondering if it's real.
Like, you know, it could be a trap, right? It could be, it could be somehow someone extracted information from someone such that they're trying to trap Fred Johnson, right? They want Fred Johnson to show up so they can take out Fred Johnson, so that Fred Johnson can no longer negotiate peace on behalf of the Belters, and maybe it's the Martians wanting to take him out so that they can like there's a lot of things that this could be. I think it's weird that Fred so easily agreed to send Holden on this mission that like beforehand he really wanted just to have access to a ship with guns, right? To go and rescue this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just gone to the section to see like if we'd missed something. And it literally, Fred's saying, Polanski exists only on paper and owns things that Mr. Tai Chi doesn't want to own, including a courier ship called the Scopies.
Tycho Scapulae. But anyways, continue.
I'm having fun. And then the non-existent owner of the Scopuli checked into a flop house on one of the shit levels of Eros. We just got the message. We have to work on the assumption that whoever got the room knows our operations intimately, needs help, and can't ask for it openly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Mr. Tai Chi's alter ego, or on paper ego, or whatever.
Wait,
but
is Mr. Tycho an actual person? I thought Mr. Tycho was Fred.
No, the Tycho family is the family who has owned the space station that they're on for multiple generations. And I think in the last chapter, Fred said that the current living Tycho who's owns the corporation / space station is currently on Luna making deals for the next. So there is an entity. So it, like, not to bring up the Hiltons like they were in the last one, but like it's like those like where it's a generational company named after the family.
That's where my disassociation was wrong, because I thought he was referring to Mr. Tycho as I thought Fred was Mr. Tycho.
Literally, CEO, owner of the company, Mr. Tycho.
Yes. So it just, I'm not, I don't know. I mean, it could be someone trying to lure someone like Fred to a sting operation, I suppose you would call it.
Well, clearly someone involved with the Tycho operation.
Yeah. So
you think that Lionel Polanski's involved with the Tycho?
Well, Lionel Polanski doesn't exist. The person pretending.
Well, we're calling. Let's just call whomever this is.
Lionel Polanski, a pseudonym. That person is clearly trying to get the attention of Tycho operation. May not necessarily be Fred, but someone on Tycho, someone related to that whole situation, and then they're just like, we'll just send this untested crew.
Well, he didn't want to, and then Holden's like, you can't take my ship without me, basically.
I feel like a guy as well-resourced as Fred Johnson would be able to find a different ship, and with as much money as he has, right?
Well, that's what he says. I want your ship, and he's like, we'll be out in an hour, and he's like, when did this become you going?
Well, and not only that, he explained that with the war situation, so he kind of ignored, so he started going on his little monologue.
Why don't you just hire a ship that's already at Eros?
But he's like, he does say, like, the ships we have access to are these stupid little runabouts, basically, and that none of them have guns.
He wants
and they're slow. He wants the speed. He wants the stealth. The stealth, but not directly stealth, but they can be, they can run quieter. They can change the transponder, which Holden has already acknowledged when he decided to go all Captain Hook, and then the guns is probably one of the last. Like,
Yeah.
so it's a combination of at least 4 things that the Rocinante, the Rossi has. That most of the Belter ships, most of the Belter ships don't have. Like, none of the Belter ships have that combination of 4 things, so they can't go fast. They can't run as quiet. They don't have the guns, and
But
whatever.
obviously, this emergency situation is not so much of an emergency that they don't have time to give the Rossi a whole ass facelift and a paint job, right? Like he agrees to that. He's like, yeah, we'll just turn you into a gas hauler.
Tubes on it and
We've got
paint
time
it
for that, and all these ships that we have access to are slower than that. Which just doesn't compute. So again, Palpatine Johnson-ness. In the favor of Palpatine Johnson, it doesn't make sense. He's got access to all this Tycho Station, like super crazy technology, manufacturing ability, and the only ships he has access to cannot get to Eros and back before they re-outfit a whole ass other ship.
Exactly.
Let's go, Rob.
I don't think I had a. No, Mel's got it. You know, she's right. You know.
I will say jerry rigging a couple things on the surface of a ship is very different than re-outfitting like weapon systems or re-outfitting engines or things like that.
Yeah, but it still takes time, including paint drying. Because he asked for a full.
How long does paint take to dry?
I'm curious. Yeah, I was just thinking that. Also, like, how are you painting in space? Like, are you like using a 0G bucket that like scrapes the paintbrush after you pull it back out,
Sort of
and then you're just spreading?
Surface
are you
tension
laser?
is still a thing in 0G.
That's true. Surface tension. Yeah, but
you should watch some interesting videos of water droplets on like washcloths and stuff in space because they still
I have
clean
watched this.
to it. Right?
Yeah, they do. This is true. But like, how is it drying? Like, it's cold. Space is cold. It's freezing.
I guess it would dry pretty quickly.
Yeah, that would. Yeah.
I'm sure that they would have some sort of adaptive technology, so it's not necessarily water-based, that would be able to go on.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like alcohol based.
That's spoiling my fun. Anyway,
I mean, they did invent.
Hey, you know what? That's what you get
They
for the little
invented
restaurant.
pens that could write in space. That was like a whole situation. So
yeah, you know, because who knew you couldn't use a pencil? Anyway, yeah, I Mel's right. They're both shitty negotiators because he wants a ship with guns and Holden wants, you know, to get off the ship, and they both like give up to it's weird, but it is dodgy, and I'm very happy that Mel is leading. I think they're gonna get there. We're gonna get the frenemies moment between Holden and Miller meeting up and being like, "What the fuck?" And I predicted a 70% chance that Polanski is actually Julie.
Okay, so you think there's a 7? Where did my pen?
Julie?
Here's my pen.
70% chance that Polanski is Julie. That's what I put in my notes. Okay, I feel like because of the scopuli, scopuli. Sorry, scopuli, isn't it?
Scopuli.
Yeah, thank you. I'm trying to be right occasionally because then when I'm wrong,
I appreciate that.
I feel like with the mention of that, we're meant to think it's Julie. You know, and so I don't know.
If it's Julie, why would Fred trust them to go get Julie? Who's the only one that knows what happens in the world?
I mean, that is a really good theory.
Maybe Fred doesn't. Literally, Fred says it's someone who knows our operations intimately. He doesn't. That doesn't mean it's Julie.
Why do we think that's Julie? I don't know.
I think as readers we're meant to think it's Julie.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Because that ship is mentioned, she was on that ship at the beginning in the prologue at some point, maybe for about half a second on a page somewhere, and Rob thought it was the whole time. You know, still don't understand that. Anyway, don't will ever
okay. You don't
understand that.
have to.
It's okay. I accept that that's what it is, even if I don't
It's
understand
okay,
how it
Rob.
happens.
It's okay.
It's okay. So I feel like as readers, we're meant to lean that way and think. So I was like,
I like
I'm
it.
giving
I
it a
like that theory.
70% chance. I'm giving it a 70% chance. I
was gonna ask you who you
Yeah.
thought it was, so I'm glad that you
Yeah.
volunteered that.
So, and I feel like we can segue into the Miller chapter as a result of that. Unless
You
there
might
was more
fuck
from
that
the-
up for them. What do you think? Do you think you might fuck it up? Miller?
I think it's Anderson Dawes.
You think it's Dawes?
I don't
Okay.
think it's Dawes.
Okay, so Mel thinks Plansky.
Right. I feel like this is a poll. So let me go to the edits. All right. So who is Polanski? If I apologize.
Well,
I like Julian.
Polanski, there's a
Julie.
film director, Roman Polanski, if
Does.
you're familiar with them, whose wife was
Any
killed
other
by
choices?
Who else could
wow.
it be?
Yeah.
Who else could it could be? It could be.
You said Dawes. You said Julie. Could it
Yeah,
be
Dawes and
Javi?
Julie.
Is Javi like a secret spy the
OPA?
whole time?
No, but it
He
could
was
be
just pretending
Shadid.
to be a dumb idiot.
Who else? Captain Darren's head. It could be Captain Darren's head.
Who's Darren Ted? Oh, Darren from
Captain Darren. His head that got sucked into
Justice for
Sentimon.
Justice for Darren.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
said justice for Darren. Hashtag
Justice for Darren.
It was
There we
Dave
go.
who got airlocked.
Yeah.
There are your
No.
options. Who is Polanski? Type
Dave
1, 2,
who
3, or 4 in
collected
chat.
books and
1 for
cartoons.
Julie, 2 for Dawes, 3 for Heavy, or 4 for placenta bomb.
It's
just
Darren.
because we know how much you love it.
Here I come to have your day. Placentamon is on the way. Placentamon.
I love it.
And so far there are I was about to say the 0 votes for Julie, but one for Julie just came in chat. So
Okay. So now Miller.
Miller. Let's talk through Miller.
can I just say I really liked the priest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
so let's talk about the priest.
Just the way he was preaching was like really, he was like kind of self-aware of like how preachers, I suppose, can come across sometimes.
He was
And
very
also
shepherd
just
book.
like, yeah, very shepherd book. It was like, if people want to find God, it'll come up in conversation. And if they don't, there's no point me saying it because it ain't going to change their mind. I was like, that is, someone who understands the situation quite well. And he's not like, I won't talk about Jesus or God or anything like that. He's not there being like, if you don't bring it up, I ain't going to bring it up. It's more of a case of like, well, we can talk about it, but I'm not going to force you. Yeah. And I feel like Miller was a little bit like, well, I'm okay with this conversation. But I don't know. It gave me, shepherd book. It was really, there was an easy acceptance. It was a nice scene on this Greyhound bus with the riot gas if you cause a problem, but has a bar as well. Like it was a whole situation going on.
Very confusing transport. Yeah. So why do we think Miller feels relief for leaving his entire life behind? That's crazy to me. Like complete relief for abandoning your entire life that you defined yourself by?
And he kind of realized it in that moment.
And I don't know if I believe that or if that's again like a trauma response thing. I don't know if he really believes that in the moment or if he's trying to escape it so much. I don't know. He's become he was originally such a reliable narrator and now he's not. I don't know what to believe about Miller's internal monologue. Like, whereas originally...
Or maybe he just feels he has no choice, right? He's got no choice. There's nothing left for him there. right? Like, the OPA doesn't want him at all, and they run that.
Yeah,
where
I
he lives
guess.
now.
I as a person who lives in a place that doesn't want me, right? Like, there are some choices, right? You could choose to leave, or you could choose, and there are people I know who live here and choose to stake their claim and say, I belong here. This is my home. I was born here. I was raised here. And just because I don't fit in a nice square box doesn't mean that this isn't my home, and I don't have a piece of it belongs to me. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
there's like different ways of going about it, and I guess I would have pegged Miller as someone who would have been slightly more resilient when it comes to that, but it could be that he's not. It could be that he's not particularly resilient because he's been, for lack of better words, kind of like top of everything, right? He's been a cop. He's had the authority of the state behind him, and he's never had to like fight for his place in a way that other people who are not necessarily, you know, supported by the state get to. So,
Well, and going back to his conversation with Javi in the last chapter, where Javi was offering him a job with the company that he signed up with on Gamamede, and Miller's just like, I'm just not quite there yet. Like, keep it open for me. Like, not making decisions yet, and then wanting to go to Tycho, and then getting that last minute message from Javi about going to Eros. Like, do you think he just literally hasn't had time to think about it, or he's just not acknowledging it, or
he could still be running, right? He could still be running from everything
We
that
see
happened to him.
exactly what's happening, like, you know, a page later in the chapter.
Right.
He's fucking off his rocker, right? Like, he is talking to Julie, seeing her walking beside him on the streets of Eros. Like,
That was
what
continuing
is going
creepy.
on? So, I don't know if he's actually in his right mind, you know? Like, he stopped drinking, which we know, which is good. But, like,
Which is, yeah, that was mentioned on the ship. Like, you know, he would have been at the bar previously, and he's not now, so
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
so
But-
is this him being clear or being more muddled? Like, I don't really know. But
I
also, he
Go
didn't
now.
get his walkabout, right? He didn't get his walkabout.
No, I just
It's
have
like
a
a walkabout.
tangent about Gamamede for someone who's
Like
so
Ganymede, by the way, just-
particular about the names of things. It's not Gamamede, right?
No,
It's Ganymede.
yeah.
There's an N. Anyway,
There-
let's continue.
whatever.
Yeah,
We're
like,
gonna
all they're putting in the chat at the same time, Ganymede.
Ganymede. Ganymede, not Gamamede.
So do you know how Leia feels when we say things like the restaurante
Yeah, but she knows that we're saying it wrong on
and the
purpose.
scopulus. This is true.
Okay, so yeah, he is confusing. He is messy. He is interesting, and we spend a lot of time trying to figure him out, right? And I don't know where that's gonna go, and I don't know. I think his unpredictableness is gonna lead us to some crazy crises, crazy actions, crazy impulsive things that he's gonna do, especially if, God forbid, like imaginary Julie and Lionel Polanski are real Julie. Like, what happens if imaginary Julie and real Julie are in the same room together, right? Because imaginary Julie, like, it's clearly manifests, right? So does that break the space-time continuum? If your imaginary self and your real self end up in the same time line, like, the multiverse is gonna be all sorts of fucked up.
Explode.
Maybe real Julie is going to look at fake Julie and be like, that's the real Ganymede ass. I don't know. I'm trying to think of America's ass comment there. It just didn't work. I don't know. It's a strange. That's still really creepy to me, and I don't understand that. As for the moment with the priest, I think he's so focused on finishing the job.
Yeah.
You know, that right, because he's left the station before. To find out when he talks to Semi, like he's left the station before him.
Fifth trip.
Yeah, those two worked outside of the regular lines of communication to prosecute a guy for, you know, screwing up whatever it was. I forget it was, and like 4 people died as a result. You know, whereas the bosses wouldn't talk to each other and sort it out. They were like, we're just going to sort this out and get it done. And they did. So another cop who's also a little bit gray, morally gray, who's like, you know, let's just get justice or do the right thing, even if we've got to go outside the rules a little bit sometimes. So I feel like we've got like a slightly different version of Miller here. But in my head, he was just like, oh, I've got to keep doing this job, And then talking to the priest made him realize, oh, I've kind of like just left where I've lived my entire life, bar these couple of trips I've done. And now that you've said this out loud to me,
going back.
Yeah, I've also realized that I've made 0 plans. Like I've committed to doing this and going wherever it takes me, and I have no plans to go back. I think he had subconsciously made that choice, and the priest made him realize it. That I don't think it's a healthy way to deal with it.
I like that.
Yeah, I think he just like was so focused on the job, he didn't realize subconsciously he's kind of just committed and gone, well, I got kicked out. I'm not the great cop that I thought I was. I've had like realism shoved in my face. You know, I've had to kick alcoholism, although you never do. Like you just had to, you know, stay sober. And, you know, I got fired like, you know, a week later and shit. Like, you know, it's, I think he subconsciously gone, well, they kicked me to the curb, so I'm going to keep going down that road. And it took that conversation for him to not necessarily fully realize it, but have that moment where it's that first step in realizing it. So
yeah,
I think,
but yeah, like I said, I'm not sure if that's him letting go or if that's him like diving deeper into madness. I'm not quite sure yet which way that's going. I thought it was really interesting in the conversation with Sematimba about like Javi's guys seemed to be like the right choice, and they weren't the people who ended up running arrows, and instead it was carne para la máquina,
meat for the grinder,
where I was like, meat for the machine, and I was just like, that's awful. What an awful name for like an authority on a station.
I mean, coincidentally, last night I was listening to Wheel of Time as I went to sleep, and a certain meat grinder scene happened to be the scene that I was listening to as I went to sleep. Yeah.
That's not a good sleeping check, Rob.
To be honest, I'm not focused too much on what's happening. It's more just the sound of my
why would
clicking.
you name yourself that? That's so weird.
It's so bizarre.
That's so weird. It's like you want to die. It's like you have a death wish kind of thing. And not just any death wish, a death wish to be used. Like you want to be used and die.
And do you find it weird when Simba said, you know, because we know in series that Star Helix left, and that was an Earth corporation, right? And Protogen left Eros, and now this corporations or this Belter group is there. Protogen is where Javi is in Ganymede, right? He's who signed up. Those are also Earther. That's an Earther security company, right? So how do we feel? What do we think is happening? What do you two think is happening? Because these Earther companies are leaving, and the OPA or just Belters in general are taking over these 2 stations that we know of. We don't know about other ones yet, but how do you feel that is landing, and what do you think is happening there?
Well, on one hand, I like this experiment in self-governance for the Belters. Like I like the idea of the Belters taking governance of their own place, but much like any quest for independence, it's going to get messy until you figure out how the governance of your, for lack of a better word, country or planet or system or whatever It's gonna be messy, and you're gonna make mistakes, but it's just like I'm just saying they're making odd choices to start off in this self-governance thing. You would think, because I think, at least from what I've seen, the OPA is the only Belter organization thus far that has been presented as like serious, and not just a bunch of fuck-ups. Not fuck-ups, but not like a gang, right? Like we're just like we're only, I mean, clearly we're seeing mostly just Miller's perspective on this, right? So again, unreliable narrator, but it does seem like Miller has a modicum of respect for OPA, but all the other groups that are taking over things, he has less respect for it. They're less organized. They have,
well,
they're less
Semi
serious.
literally says,
I guess
like,
serious is the word I would use. And so yeah, I think it is dangerous for the other Belter stations to be run by non-serious people in a very serious war, right? Because then you just end up with more situations where more innocent people are going to end up getting hurt.
Well, and they talk about the news feeds with the reaction to Earth pulling out of series where there's multiple opinions within the belt. Some are that are like, yay, now the OPA or whomever can take over, or this is just like Earth copping out of the war. And then there's some that Earth is just going to let them shoot it out and then take over. So so it's like,
when is Earth going to come in? We have not seen one thing yet. When are they coming in? Are they ever going to come in? What do you
probably
think?
next book.
Next book? Okay.
Next book.
Put it on the list later.
Just saying that.
Oh,
just
okay.
Just why not? Just right. There's too much going on this book. Next book, Earth gets involved.
Next book for Earth.
Yeah.
Rob's like, I'm tired. I don't want Earth 2 in the next book.
No, I want a chapter other than Melindhra holding, right? And I don't, like.
We'll get that eventually.
Yeah, but like, I want it before book 6.
Book 6. Can we talk a little bit about Eros and just the actual
the belly button Las Vegas of the belt?
The physicality of this station. So
yeah,
it's Vegas.
It's Vegas.
It's Vegas in
space. People. It's got it's totally.
But it's like 1960s Vegas.
But this is the best part. So roughly the shape of a potato. It had been much more difficult to spin up, and its surface velocity was considerably higher than Ceres for the same internal G. The old shipyards protruded from the asteroids. They're like built in to this potato, as Leigh-A is showing, creating great spider webs of steel and carbon mesh studded with warning lights and sensor arrays to wave off any ships that might come too tight. The internal caverns of Eros had been the birthplace of the belt, from raw ore to smelting furnace to annealing platform, and then the spines of water haulers and gas harvesters and prospecting ships. Eros had been a port of call in the first generation of humanity's expansion. From there, the sun itself was only a bright star among billions. So that's how this station started, and now it's Vegas.
Now it's Vegas.
It's crazy.
So
I feel like that's a similar way to how Vegas came to be, right?
Yeah. Well, and I wanted to actually bring up another chart, just because charts.
Chart.
So, oops, hold on. Wait, I gotta share this tab instead. Share this tab instead. Okay, so just to get an understanding of where Ceres is and Eros are with respect to the inner solar system, essentially. So all of those dots are the asteroid belt. So Ceres is actually considered a dwarf planet within the asteroid belt. So it has a constant orbit and it stays within that asteroid belt. Now, and let's see if I can get my mouse to come up. Can you guys see the mouse?
Yes.
So this orbit here is where Earth is. And then this outer orbit, again, is where Mars is. So where Eros comes in is Eros is an asteroid that has actually escaped the orbital velocity of this asteroid belt. And it does something called a near-Earth approach. It gets, it's like, hold on, it's fractions of an AU, which we discussed earlier. So it gets within 0.3 AU of Earth on its closest approach. But it also crosses the orbit of Mars. So it goes somewhere between here and the Martian orbit. So, and again, you can see that is like, it's not directly equivalent. But yeah, so Eros is within basically this whole little space here, as you see it. So it is slightly closer in. So when they're talking about Eros, what Amis just read, having been one of the earlier asteroids that did have colonies put on it, that's why I believe, in my personal opinion, the authors chose Eros was because it was physically closer to the orbit of Mars, and easier to put a manned station on. So
Cool science, man.
Yeah, I was very curious. I was like, okay, so like I know these things exist in real life, but like why are the authors saying the things that they're saying based off of this paragraph?
Yeah, because they're really good at measurement and distances and stuff.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe in the future Eros has been like expanded out beyond Mars's orbit. You know?
Well, so this is all NASA and other space organizations math, and then they're just saying like, oh, that makes sense, and we'll do this. And there's actual articles out there about why
it have an elliptical like orbit, or does it have like a circular orbit?
It does. And I couldn't find, because I tried to find a chart.
I mean, if it crosses both, it would have
orbit.
to have,
An
because
elliptical
Mars and
orbit,
Earth
yeah.
don't have elliptical orbits. If it comes close to or crosses both, it would surely have to have an elliptical orbit, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so it's independent of our orbits and some, but it does. Like, and I don't know that if it's necessarily, because I do believe it probably gets bounced around. I did try to find an orbital chart for it, and I just on a very quick 10, 15, because I did a little bit of a deep dive.
Go hunt down the orbit of Eros so we can see what it does, please.
So
Thank
it
you.
comes as close as 1.13 astronomical units and reaching as far as 1.78 astronomical units from the sun.
Because in the book, it doesn't feel like Eros is closer to the sun than Mars is.
There's a
so hold on.
It is. I mean, it is technically.
So yeah, so this is one of the more in-depth articles that I found.
Well, Overseers has done got size measurement for you, Mel. Eros is 2.5 cubic meters in size.
Wow.
Potato man.
Wow, Holden couldn't even reach across the whole hand.
Yeah, so here's the stuff about the can I highlight about the AUs?
I have a visual orbit picture. Do you want to see it?
I would love to see it because you found that way quicker. I don't know how.
Because she got the NASA astronaut hookup. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's.
She's like, Sonny, I know you got that hanging out on your laptop. Just swing it, you know.
I pulled my astronaut friends. Okay.
Yes.
Here's Eros. It's kind of got a tilty orbit. You see that?
Oh yeah.
So it's the one with the spiky things.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what it means when it crosses Earth and then circles Mars. There's Mars over there.
Oh, okay. So it still fits then because it will be further out than Mars.
I don't know if I share my mouse. Sorry, but yeah, interesting. Kind of like slightly crooked.
And the angle of its orbit is quite funky compared to the
kiltered. Yeah,
it's kilted. Yeah. That's why it
Fun.
comes close to both Earth, crosses both Earth's and Mars's orbits.
Yeah.
You see it.
Very cool. People are. Oh my God, Skeeter! Put up Skeeter's comment. Eros
Oh, I saw
is
that. I saw that. I was
84,954
waiting. Yeah. Wrong one.
clenched anuses wide.
Oh wow. There's
Yeah.
so many tight beams inside of that.
So many tight beams.
So many tight many.
Yes.
Tight beams.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, this is a fun place. I love how it's all about the money, though. Like, I mean, I don't love that, obviously, but I love that that's how it's been. It's a very, gave me a very visceral understanding of Eros and how it works. You're like, it's all about the money. It flows to the casinos, to the brothels, to all the places where you can lose all your money. And it's a place where you are enticed to hang out for a long time. On a series, if you don't check in and check out quick at the berths, the cost racks up because it's all about turnover. But Eros is about come and stay until you have dried out your wallet, your prostate, your liver. Maybe you've soaked your liver, actually.
Yeah.
And yeah, until you've dried out your wallet, you've dried out your prostate, you have oversaturated your liver, and then you can go.
Yeah, it's very much like Vegas. That like the hotel rooms are super cheap, and it's just like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I guarantee. I absolutely. If they're not in that casino, because I hope there's a casino scene. If they're not in the casino, in a casino scene, and someone's walking around with a tray of drinks, being like, "Just what do you want? I'll give it to you." Like, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Miller
Do you think
accepted
we're
a
gonna
drink
get like
from
an Ocean's 11 scene with the Rossi crew and
Oh
Miller?
my God, that would be.
Oh,
amazing.
that would be fun. Oh my
That would
God.
be
The
good.
heist
Are they gonna have a
line
heist?
Yep.
I would love it if they have a heist.
I mean,
Ooh.
that sounds like another poll. Our previous poll, by the way, folks.
Okay.
Ended with
But like,
2
who
votes.
in the heist has to hide inside of the drink cart?
The little, yes, the cart with the guy
Who has to be the contortionist
Well, Holton,
in the
because he's
drink
only
cart?
3 foot tall.
Yeah,
Oh,
Holden,
that,
obviously.
that was
Yeah.
easy. Okay.
So
you're right.
the previous poll, let's just answer that, folks. The
Well.
previous poll, we got. I for some reason I typed "How is Polanski" rather than "Who is
This-
Polanski."
I didn't.
I
write
appreciate
the
no
vote.
one in chat
I'm
calling
just,
out for that.
I'm just operating off of the facts presented.
There we go.
True.
The
I
previous
will
poll,
take
we
your
got
word.
2 votes apiece for Julie, Dawes, and Havy being Polanski, and we got 8 votes for it being Placentamon. So thank you very much for that, everybody.
All right.
Stop that poll. That is now.
Okay, if Lionel is Polanski, I mean, wait, if Lionel is Placentamon,
Placentamon.
sorry, I said
Oh
that
my
wrong.
God.
How is Fred communicating with Placentamon?
Well, that's the
How
thing
does
is, I
Placentamon-
don't necessarily think Fred is communicating with that person at all. They just checked in with that
They
name, and that
yeah.
How
flagged
does
their system.
Placentamon check in?
I mean, it's got Captain
Placentamon-
Darren's head on
I
one
mean,
of its
do you
bulbous.
not remember this?
Captain
Oh,
Darren's
God.
head.
Oh,
image
God.
here? Like with look, okay, Puppet Placentamon can do a lot of different things at once. Okay, the multi-skilling of Placentamon is enormous. So he absolutely,
Do you think Placentamon is like the penguins in Madagascar when they stand on top of each other and put like a
yeah, he just stacks heads until there's one above the desk,
Darren's
and
head
that
on
one,
top?
and that
Oh,
one makes the booking.
And he can like switch them out like that creepy witch from Return to Oz.
Yes.
Just like switch out the creepy
Oh,
heads.
she's so
Captain
terrifying.
Darren is now in his head is the Placentamon's
Okay.
head
And the way
closet,
to defeat Placentamon is finding
which is bigger
the
than
right-
Fred's office.
yes, you got to find the box that has the key, so you can then find the poison that will kill Placentamon, and that's how.
I hate all of you.
That's what happens at the end of book 9.
Okay.
I hate all of you.
But
Darren?
on the sorry,
Are we gonna find Darren?
Darren's coming back.
Is
Yeah.
Darren coming back?
If Placentamon is there, Darren is there. They are
Darren's
one
there.
and the
Okay.
same. They are
Okay.
one.
Darren won.
Yes.
But you said we were gonna have a scene, Rob. You were like with a drink thing, but like Miller had
Yeah.
that at the very end.
Did
Like
I miss that?
Miller accepted a drink from a tired-looking woman in a G-string and bared breasts, and found a screen to stand at that afforded him a
he
view of all
did.
6 doors. He already got his free watered down rum and coke.
Wow. Okay. Fair enough.
He already got it.
I was too excited for the possibility of Molten, okay?
Molten
And then
is
also
happening.
knowing it was the last
So
paragraph
soon.
of the chapter.
I'm
Knowing
excited
it was the
about
last
Molten.
paragraph of the chapter, and I'm like, you're going to wrap this up, and we're not actually going to get Molten this week, and you're going to make me wait until tomorrow before I can find out.
You did
Oh,
say
did
that we
actually
weren't
say-
gonna get Molden this week. I'm pretty sure that was like I wanted Molden this week, but you said we
Yeah,
weren't gonna get it this week.
I did say that last week. I was like, we won't get Molten next week.
Oh, I
You
didn't
won't.
write
It'll
it
be-
down, but I believe
It'll be
you.
the week after. Yeah.
Do you think he's gonna though interject with the crew yet, or do you think he's gonna play the Miller we knew in the beginning of the book and just kind of watch and like observe first? Like, or do you think he's gonna immediately like get in there?
I predict that he tries to stalk them and sees what's going on so that he can like follow them or whatever to reveal. Because he probably thinks they're going to lead him to Julie or something stupid like that.
I think imaginary Julie is gonna walk up to Holden and take his hand and take him to the playground.
There we go.
Take him to the playground.
But you know who I
She
think is
thinks
going to
he's a little
stop?
kid because he's so small.
Right.
He's so little. I think that he's going to try and follow them, and like be the good cop sort of motif. And I'm going to put down
for 2 chapters. If he just follows.
no. Let me finish. But I think he's going to be spotted by Alex. I'm going to say.
Alex.
Yeah,
You're making an official prediction.
I love it.
I'm going to throw a bone to Alex.
Alex is gonna spot Miller. Okay.
Alex is going to spot Miller following them. Okay. And then it's going to be like, okay, we'll sneak around this corner. And then when he comes around, bam, jump in or something stupid like that, And we'll start with, the Holden chapter where by the end of it, Alex is like the chapter wrap up with Alex being like, this fucking dude keeps following us sort of thing, And then we're going to switch to the Miller chapter. And that's going to start with a little bit of him following, and then it ends up with him being caught. We probably still won't actually get any real interaction between the two of them, but they will at least meet by the end of the Miller chapter.
What if?
I agree.
what if
Actually,
Alex-
I think they're meeting. I think they're meeting in the next pairing of chapters, and I think
Maybe
by the
Alex
end of
just
the Miller-
invites him to play darts and has no idea he's following him.
No,
That sounds like more like Alex. Yeah.
that does sound like it. But I just want to throw a bone to Alex. We've been giving a lot of credit to everyone else. Yeah, we need a lot of credit to everyone else. So I
And
want to.
Amos tries to hit on imaginary Julie. And imaginary Julie.
And let's be honest, imaginary Julie's like, this guy knows his way around.
And imaginary Julie abandons Miller, and Miller gets pissed off, and then he starts a fight with Amos, and then Amos puts him in a headlock, and Holden says, whoa, we're trying to be undercover here. We're here for Lionel Messi. And then it's like, stop, Amos, stop choking that very, very tall man. And then Amos lets him go. And then he's like,
a very, very tall, sexy man.
Tall, sexy man with a dapper hat. I love his
Playing
hat.
the saxophone.
Wait. Holden thinks Miller's sexy. I suppose he does.
He's enchanted by his hat.
Yeah,
And-
look at this hat. I mean, come on.
I mean, it's an amazing hat.
That's how you get to this with that hat. That's how
So-
this happens.
Just this butt
So
rock.
Amos
sculpture.
puts Miller in a headlock. Holden breaks it up. That's how they meet. That's my prediction.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
this is fun.
So
right,
that's the meet cute.
That's the meet cute.
That's
yeah.
the meet cute.
Yeah, because Miller and Amos are arguing over imaginary Julie. Yeah.
That's funny. All right. I think there's a good point to wrap up for questions now.
Okay.
So,
IO questions.
yes.
What is the most IO moment in the chapters, or which character is the most IO?
I'm torn between Alex wanting to throw stabby objects and take everyone's money, and Amos not stopping until he is physically too sore and too dry to continue.
He wasted too much water.
There was a lot of waste.
That is not a waste of. That is not a waste of
I mean,
water.
that's not wasted.
That is
water.
not a waste of
Okay,
water.
valid.
Yeah,
That's valid.
and he was consuming a lot of water as well. So it just happened to be fermented.
True. Who's the token Wetlander then?
Naomi.
Clip that. Seriously?
What the hell is
Someone
she
clip
doing?
that.
I don't know what she's
Either way, hyping up the smallest man that ever existed is either cowardly or self-serving. One or the other. It's either cowardly or self-serving. And those are both very Wetlander things.
Rob?
You know what? Where's Token Wetlander? I do kind of have to go with Naomi as well. Yeah. Like, look, everyone has an off day, okay? She has an off day. So, yeah.
I disagree. I would say that she's probably just has a longer term plan that we don't know. But I would say that Simba Timba or whatever his name is totally the token Wetlander to be like, oh, you need my help? You want me to like figure some shit out with you? Oh, fuck you! I don't want to be part of this. Like, okay.
Hey, he's gonna go stop his fellow cops from breaking windows. So you know.
Thanks, friend. No thanks. I think he's a.
He had a
shitty
job to
friend.
do. He was busy. He was busy.
And he was also like,
he was like on patrol, and he ran into Miller.
Last time he hooked
right now.
Last time he hooked up with Miller, okay, it was to track down a guy who caused a lot of deaths. This time Miller's turned up with no explanation and gone, oh, I'm here chasing a lead that could be a very, very big thing affecting the war. Like, that's a very different situation to turn up with. It's not like, oh, I've actually followed a guy here who like killed 4 people back on series. He's like, oh, I'm following a lead here that could have a big effect on the war.
Yeah.
That's a very different situation. I don't think he was. I don't think he was out of line to be like, all right, don't fuck up shit on my station, please. You are not a cop. You're not the cop here. I am.
Yeah,
I don't think he
agreed.
was out
Yeah, I feel like that was a very good instinct on some of Timba's part. Part is to be like, dude, don't bring your mess to my already super messy station.
But it's not his mess. It's the entire solar system's mess that he thinks he's bringing, like, to try to solve that. And this guy's a coward.
He doesn't know that. Miller's just stood up and said, I'm following a lead that can have a huge effect on the war. And he's like, I'm already dealing with these dickheads over here. Look, they're probably the ones breaking the windows, committing crimes when they're supposed to be stopping them.
The carne por la máquina people.
Yeah.
The carne asada people?
No.
I hate all of you. I hate everyone right now.
I think it's like loosely like basically
the meat mashers.
Like fodder, like cannon fodder.
Right, exactly.
You call yourselves that.
It's so stupid.
I think that's who has toe is whoever A, named that group, and B, created the organization.
Yes, they're the ones
obviously hiring underqualified thugs. And
why would the authors do that? Why don't you ask yourself that question for next week?
All right, stabbiest moments.
Stabbiest moment.
Simba telling Miller, "Don't shit in my backyard."
That's pretty good.
Well,
I'm disappointed in everyone in these chapters.
Oh, Mel, we also need an airlock person this week.
Oh, you haven't airlocked for a while, Mel, to be honest.
You have an airlock.
I think the stabbiest character is obviously Amos. Don't you think?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I mean,
3 days.
That was
3 days of stabbing.
That was a very obvious answer, and I was trying to avoid saying the obvious things. But
I do not avoid the truth.
No, sometimes you just have to say the thing that is right there in front of all of us.
So true.
Literally.
Okay.
Literally.
I don't think I've airlocked him yet, but I think Palpatine Johnson's he's due for some danger.
Okay.
So
Due for danger. Okay.
I think it's possible that Palpatine Johnson has miscalculated by sending the shortest Napoleon captain in the entire solar system after a very important asset, and Mr. Tycho's gonna get pissed that Palpatine Johnson like put so much faith in this hodgepodge crew who've only had their ship for like 5 minutes. Also, they also don't really know how it works very well because they just got on it. And
well, I will say, Alex is a Martian pilot.
That's true.
And
yes,
Amo,
but it is just like
God,
you don't just need a pilot. You need everybody else who
Holden was an officer in the
not the
Earth,
Martian Navy,
Earth Navy, so he's not quite as familiar with the specific tech, but he has general knowledge. And then you've got Genius Naomi, and as the chief engineer, and Amos, who will just
he's the mechanic.
Drink, fuck, and fix things as the mechanic. So,
I mean, seriously, if you can, describe your coworker. He drinks, he fucks, and he fixes shit. Like that's a pretty solid recommendation.
It is pretty solid. He's pretty solid.
I need a coworker.
Anyway, but they're all for whatever delusional reasons they're putting their faith in Holden, which shows a distinct lack of discernment on all of their parts. So
look, as Skeeter says, a wee Holden is better than holding your wee. So you know.
That's true.
As somebody who's holding their wee right now, like I totally agree.
Fix your space toilets, everybody. Full
yes.
circle.
Take spare parts.
Bring spare
and
parts
use the
for
right
your space
diameter of
toilets.
tubing.
Correct. Yeah, so
Not
I think Palpatine Johnson is gonna get offed because he decided to trust
Palpy's
Holden.
on the list. I like this.
Palpy's out the airlock is where he is.
I'm airlocking him.
All right.
Okay.
I think that's it, right?
Sure. That can be for today. Let's go.
All right.
Next
Thank you so much.
Fun.
Next week we have the beginnings. We have the beginnings of Molden next week, everybody. And hypothetically, there will be an interaction, and
He's
I believe I said at the end of the Miller chapter.
He's gonna see them. Miller's gonna see him. And
Hypothetically.
Do you think Miller's just like, oh, screw you, Julie. I just thought Holden.
I found another childlike person to follow.
Oh my God.
Wow. That got real creepy, even given how we've been describing
Let's not be bad for YouTube, shall we?
I said childlike.
All right. So as a reminder, next week, folks, read chapters 23 and 24. Okay, that's what we'll be on. Hopefully, you'll be doing that in a room that's larger than 2.5 square meters. If not, hopefully, you're only 3 foot tall. So, no judgment. But yeah, please come and join us next week. 2.5 Holdens. That's what. Yeah, there we go. A standard room measurement is now 2.5 Holdens.
This is what we will use until the end of time.
This is great. This is great. Yeah, how many Holdens wide is that? That will be the new phrase. But yeah, thank you so much. As a reminder, you can listen to us as a podcast if you've discovered us randomly midway through our series, and you don't understand why we're talking about all these weird names and Anus Beams and Palpatine Johnson and Placentamons and all those other crazy things. Go back to the prologue and listen from there, especially where I get really confused about shit. You can do that. Go to patreon.com/MalkieriTalks and linking the free podcast there to Spotify or just listening to it in the Patreon app. You can like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment below with how many Holdens wide your house is, I suppose. I don't know.
Sure.
Name your favorite short king.
Name your favorite short king or queen in chat. Name your favorite short person in chat. Okay? Don't make it creepy. I will be watching and I will moderate you.
Sure.
And I think that's about it. So thank you so much for hanging out, folks. We love you. Yeah, yikes. And we will see you. We'll see you in a week. So until then, as we like to say around here, folks, may you always find love, water, and rooms slightly bigger than a Holden that have lots of shade. Bye.
May you always find love, water.